I'm all right. Hell no. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
Steer from the 3. Streaks across the 30. He might be gone.
It's up. Gaston to the right. Oh,
they got blockers. They got blockers. They've got a lane.
Into the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. Darrell Langham with the grab.
Stars intercepted. Look out. Trajan Bandy, the true freshman. We got the truth again.
Because when the U is on and the U brings it, there's nothing like it. We got to get there. And it's going to take everybody.
What's up, Canes fam? Welcome back to the Miami Knights podcast. Your Miami Hurricanes moved to 8-2 on the year. Still number 15 as of now. We are recording on a Monday night. Tomorrow night we will get the next round of college football playoff rankings. Surely there won't be any drama associated with that. But nevertheless, your Miami Hurricanes dominated the NC State Wolfpack in probably the most complete game of the season that I can recall. Like, I mean, obviously USF was a great game, and we had a few other great performances this year, but pure complimentary football was on display at 3:30 p.m. in Hard Rock Stadium. Crowd looked all right. Joseph, you were at it, so tell me about it. How was it?
I was there. I was at the Rock. Me, Mom, and Dad held down Section 343, row 24, seats 1 through 7. It was sparse crowd to start. You know, people are late to arrive at that stadium, but by the time the second quarter rolled around, it was a good crowd. You know, they were loud as always. It was senior day, just a wonderful atmosphere. It was great to be there. And, you know, I'm now, it's been a long time since I've seen a loss at Hard Rock Stadium in person. I know Kurt can't quite say the same with the Louisville game this year, but yeah, it feels good to be dominant at home once again.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I see you're growing the mustache, too.
Yes.
So a lot of great things happening this November.
A lot of big things happening in my life.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt?
If you love men's prostates.
Kurt's been studying the game afterwards.
Is that what the... Wait, why'd you say that?
That was a Toby joke from The Office.
Oh, yes. Oh, wow. How'd I miss that?
I'm a little rusty. I don't know if
yeah,
it's
when they grow out the
but
mustache.
he walks by the lady and he's like,
yeah.
You know,
yes.
smile,
He looks like a complete
smile if you
pedophile.
like.
Yeah.
Kurt, you weren't able to watch the game, and I was getting texts from you thinking you were like jokingly happy with the game. Like, wait, Smothers was only held to -2 yards, but I was like, no, that was actually a genuine question.
Yeah, I think that was on like Sunday. I think I texted on Sunday afternoon. I'm like, I was still riding around in a golf cart, like looking at the box score, and I'm like, I mean, I finally got to sit down and watch the game this afternoon, but I got to be honest, I don't know the last time I was really pleasantly surprised by the Miami Hurricanes football team. I mean, really, like,
you picked us to win by 1.
We were all a little tight.
And that was
on
kind
the
of
game,
like, I'm not going to pick a loss, but I thought I was genuinely concerned about this game.
Yeah.
And it was obvious. I mean, word was traveling around, you know, and guys, they know my situation, my fandom, and it was just total. I mean, I definitely, I couldn't believe it. I was genuinely surprised.
Yeah, that's a great game to be working. Because it's because you can be like excited to go back and watch it. You're never stress checking your phone. Like
exactly,
you might not know what's going on at a certain point, but you're like, I'm sure it's all going fine.
Didn't have to try to stream it and be like, you know, whoa, Kurt's on his phone a lot tonight. What's he doing over there?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It was great. Yeah.
It's not like you're performing in a play and we have a noon kickoff against SMU.
Yeah.
Well,
Joe,
good.
You're on. That's right when Lightfoot hits him late.
God.
I I said, give me a minute.
Well, cool. Well, we got a good show for you today, guys. We're going to get into our Storm Awards in a second here. I got a little bit of the numbers game coming back for today's show. And then we'll get into our Eye of the Hurricane for Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech's got a little they're a horrible team, but they got a little momentum around the program after today, after the big news with hiring James Franklin. And then we'll get into our lock of the week. It's getting tight to the end with lock of the week. It's getting exciting. Then we'll end with best. Yeah, not with Kurt. Kurt's had another tough loss this past week. And then we'll end with our best of X. So got a great show for you guys. Gentlemen, I'll start us off with one number, and it'll lead us into our Storm Awards, our Hurricane of the Week. And then once we pick this number, it's probably going to be one of you guys.
I do have an aftermath report. Oh,
my goodness. We have the aftermath report. I almost missed that.
Yeah,
so I appreciate you reminding me. Absolutely, Joe, go ahead. Take our aftermath report.
Okay, and forgive me, folks listening. I am battling a wee bit of cold, so
I've had a sore throat for a week and a half.
The acoustics. See, I got that reference. I didn't get that. Okay. Excuse me. We take you down to Miami Gardens, where ESPN broadcaster Mark Jones will tell you where every single street is in Miami, including where he smoked his first Black and Mild. It was C.J. Barnum and Bailey's homecoming, and what a circus show it was as he threw 2 first-quarter picks, both of which were by Jacoby Bryant Thomas, who had that Mamba mentality and took one of those to the house the way I take Chinese food back home and devour it and hate myself 15 minutes later. The first offensive touchdown came by way of a 3-play drive that started with Baby Jesus saying, "Yes, I'm your savior at wide receiver, but I'm also a better quarterback than C.J. Bailey," as he would hit JoJo Trader for a 44-yard gain, setting up an easy score for Marty McFly Brown, who went back to the future to tell us this game was over quick. Also, looks like Miami will hit the transfer portal internally to make Malachi Toney QB1 next season. NC State got the ball back and said no thanks as Miami would take over, and the juice is loose. Pringle said, "I've got all the chips and I'm going all in," as he would run and hit the hole the way my putts never do. Miami would drive down so Carson Beck could hit who else but Malachi Toney the Tiger, who said, "I'm more than good, I'm great." Canes up big at half, 24-0. Halftime came, and I'm not crying, I just have allergies, as Mark Richt was honored at halftime, and the only dry eye in the house came from Corey Heatherman, because those eyes don't cry. A beautiful tribute to a Canes legend who sure wishes he had Cam Ward or Carson Beck, but this is a pro Malik Rozier podcast, so I digress. Miami gets ball at half and 8 plays, 88 yards, and a salute to veteran later, and it would be a 30-yard dime from Carson Van Dimes to Elijah Lofted up, and I will catch it sometimes, who catches this one as Miami rolls. Drama finally hits the game as the big screen shows the DJ, and it is not DJ Volume. Chaos in the crowd as people wonder, was the noise from the haters too loud for Volume? Back to the game as NC State finally passed midfield and felt so good about that they punted again, only for Miami to score again. As Baby Jesus said, Christmas is coming, but I'm already here. Canes go up 41-0. We now had so many white guys on the field we looked like Clemson as third stringers and senior walk-ons were in the game, only for Dave Doran to run out C.J. Bailey, whose entire family had already left the game, to get them on the board. Final score, Canes 41, NC State 6. A salute to the seniors, a salute to the military, and finally a salute to Rohan Marley, who gave us a rendition of his late father's all-time hit, "Don't worry about a thing, except that my son, he sure can't sing. Put us in the playoffs, you cowards."
Couple things. Did you leave before the extra point? You said 41-6. They did get that extra point. That's all right.
Was it 42-6 final?
No, 41-7.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just playing.
I was so mad at the fact that C.J. Bailey was still in the game, and they scored literally.
They kept their starters in
against our against senior walk-ons trying to get their moment.
We had like twins in the game, like twin white guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw those guys. Are they actually twins? I saw they had the same last name. Looked similar.
At least brothers. I don't know much about them. They seem to be known in the fan base, though, so maybe I just haven't been following recruiting close enough. But that's wonderful. Did look like Clemson's D out there. Definitely did look like Clemson's defense.
A lot of small white guys.
And see, Jimmy or I, we wouldn't have known the bit about DJ Volume either.
Oh my gosh, yes. That's what I was like. What was the big point I wanted to bring up? So
let me show you the picture I took.
This is bad.
That is who we saw on the big screen.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I didn't see any commotion on the timeline about this. I feel like this should have been more documented.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if it was already announced, if people already knew that this was coming, but
was the playlist different in the stadium?
Playlist was completely different.
Wow.
Really? He said he had no pool.
They did pick the song of the game, where the fans vote. Gasolina wasn't even an option. That's how much has changed in a small amount of time. Sweet Caroline was not played.
Fantastic.
Wow.
No,
Okay.
We're making big moves.
Last week
Volume's
against
alive.
Syracuse, after the pick six, they played Sweet Caroline, and it could not have been at a more perfect time, and the crowd erupted.
See, that's when
There's
it's at a good time. Yeah, I won't deny that. But when another team's driving down
it was
the
Living
field
on a
to
Prayer
take
was
over
the
game.
big song everyone sang to. And then, of course, what is it? The Little Birds song. Bob Marley. Three Little Birds. We sang that.
I think they made DJ Volume the scapegoat because he claims that he had no say.
I think he's been exposed. I think he's been exposed.
The noise was too loud for Mr. Volume.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
All right, well, that was beautiful, Joe. Thank you for once again taking the aftermath report from us. Truly, you're very good at it. Like some of these terms, I'm like, how is it week 12 and no one's brought up Tony the Tiger?
I know. I was like,
reference
what
to Malachi
other ways
Tony.
can we
That's
use
a great
Malachi
one.
Tony's
Yeah,
name?
that's fantastic. All right, so we'll get into the numbers game to start us off for our Storm Awards. Start off with Hurricane of the Week because I know this number will be associated with one of you guys is going to pick this guy as your Hurricane of the Week. I know this, so I'm going to give it 116, and you tell me what that is. And if it's your guy, you start us off.
116. I'm going to say the announced attendance for this game, 116,000.
No, darn it. That's my second number though.
Oh no.
We'll get into that. No. 116 is Gerard Pringle's rushing yards for the game.
The juice was let loose.
Yes. And I will say I'll take a little. I'll just take him if no one wants to jump on him. I'll start us off for this.
It's your show, man.
Then I'll be a good host for the rest of it. Yeah, but I'll just take it.
I'll go ahead and log off here.
Yeah, whatever. I'm only gonna take it because he was my eye of the hurricane for this game. I just think you saw a vastly different offense with Gerard Pringle in the backfield. He gave you a couple extra yards, and I think we've been getting this year. He opened up the playbook a little bit more because his vision is, I think, probably the most superior in our backfield. The offense just looked like it was humming with him, and started with a check down on the first play, first down, and we never really looked back from there. Offense sputtered a little bit in the beginning, but quickly got their feet under us. But Gerard Pringle, man, true freshman. Top 200 recruit, 4-star. We had high expectations for this guy, but to come in with this type of an impact, hasn't even filled out his frame yet. The sky is the limit for Pringle. I'm super excited about that.
Yep, that was another one I couldn't believe. We talked about him. We specifically, the direction was happy with his performances so far. Think we got something here, but specifically listen, we need to pivot and make this guy a focal point of the offense. He's got to be the RB2. That's what we talked about last week.
He made the start.
Is sitting Lyle down on the bench. Lyle, he didn't even play.
No.
Wheatley Humphrey was getting touches before him, but 100% agree, and that's the faith I have in this coaching staff, and it starts with Mario Cristobal. Again, when he talks about competing on Green Tree, look at the guys who are playing.
Yeah.
I mean, to get Pringle in there right now and turn him into that, he was a complete difference maker. You're 100% correct. Like, I love Marty Brown, and I thought he had a good game in this game, but the way that Pringle hits the hole with that like reckless abandon, you know, but he's just so quick. It gives us a 1-2 that definitely opens up the offense. So dynamic. That was awesome.
6.8 average yards per carry.
Awesome.
Not only is he, and forgive me, Jimmy, if you said any of this because I was dealing with Dobby while you were talking, so I'm not sure what you said, but not only does he hit the hole, not only how quick he is and his cuts, his patience when he first gets the football to allow the blocks to take place, and it's something, our run game didn't look any different on Saturday against NC State as far as like scheming goes. I know people are screaming that there's been more outside runs. There has, but for the most part, it was Pringle makes a big difference in how this run game looks. It's the same plays, it's the same schemes, but he has the patience to allow certain blocks to set up, certain holes to open, and then he hits them and goes. I mean, he was just very impressive. And again, what we talked about with this coaching staff is if they see freshmen playing at a high level, you will play.
You'll hit
and
the ball,
Jimmy, like you
absolutely.
said, not only are you going to play, you're going to start.
Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, I was hoping he'd get more touches this game. Didn't expect he would start, but I was happy when I saw him. I'm like, all right, they understand. They see what we see, and they don't just respect seniority. Because we've just had so many coaching staffs over the years that just respect seniority a little too much. You're like, I guess we'll see this guy on full display next year. But yeah, really.
And
good
did
to
you
see?
another freshman that started in replace of the big time injury we had with Keontae Scott
Bryce Fitzgerald.
is Mr. Bryce Fitzgerald.
Played
Got the
nickel.
start.
I don't know. Look, we're going to get too far into it because these are probably some
Okay.
awards, but I'll let Kirk go next.
Yeah, this one, obviously with a great performance like this, it makes the Storm Awards more difficult, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But I have to go with Jacoby Thomas here.
Yeah.
He was absolutely phenomenal. The way that he jumped on that interception, the timing of it being after the Marty Brown fumble, giving NC State decent field position there.
I've got the snippet
midfield.
of the call of
Yeah.
that pick six, so I'm going to play that for us real quick, just so we have it. Looked at his wrist, and I got
He
time
kills it.
today.
On the second pick, he goes, Jacoby Thomas, do you remember me? Like something like, he just always has him ready to go.
Love that
Not a
guy.
Mark Jones.
Is he the room service guy?
Yeah.
Or is that, yeah. Okay. God, it's just I still don't understand that one. He still says it. It's like it's starting to be a little more of his catchphrase. But all right, Kurt. Sorry, we cut you off with that.
They did, they had the camera on the actual beach this time at South Beach.
Yeah,
not
they did.
just on Ocean Drive. It was actually on the sand. Like,
Yeah. And then
wow,
they
just
were showing
can't get enough of
they
that.
were showing like the drone shot, and they said something along the lines of like out in the distance you got Hard Rock Stadium. Like Hard Rock Stadium is not in this shot. There's no Hard Rock
it's
Stadium.
so far from that shot. You wouldn't believe it if we told you. Oh man. Yeah, he was fantastic. Obviously, this time of year, injuries happen. Mario's he's like, I'm pretty sure Keontae Scott's out for the season, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a pretty serious.
Who knows?
Yeah, they've now come out and said
What-
it's
Who knows what
significant.
that means?
So we will not see him anymore.
Yeah. No, I mean he was fantastic. He has been very good all season.
Yeah.
Keontae Scott's just been a little better, but Jacoby Thomas has been fantastic. And just awesome. I mean, the way he broke in that ball and inviting the contact with the quarterback.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I really think the defense played with a little bit of swagger in this game in general. I thought, because once again, the scripted drive was just, I don't know. It seemed like we got off to another slow start, but the defense lifted us up, and that was awesome. This was a total team effort, and I think the reason why you get concerned about games like these, again, it's you got to be smarter and put more effort into it than just Miami can't win in late in the season. They can't win in November. Well, there are reasons why it's tougher to win later in the season. And you get into these conference games and you have to rely on your depth and your talent. And when you have guys like Jacoby Thomas back there in the secondary, and that defense as a whole was just fantastic, but very uplifting. That was a huge play. Turn, in my opinion,
Turn
really
everything around. Yeah.
kicked us into gear, because the first quarter was kind of a snoozer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, in that play, we had just fumbled it. They get the ball on the 50, and we're only up 3, and you're just like, oh, no, this is how this game is going to go.
That was a heck of a hit they put on Marty Brown. I can't even fault him for that. I mean, just absolutely walloped. Joseph, who's your Hurricane of the Week?
I really apologize about Dobby.
Tommy's
I've been away all weekend now, and so
We got
so
noise
he's going
cancellation.
nuts.
You never hear it. So just
All right.
yeah.
Well, I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep apologizing. My Hurricane of the Week, rinse and repeat, Malachi Toney.
My
I
God.
mean, 5 of 7 targets, 54 yards, 2 touchdowns, but the play of the game was his throw to JoJo Trader, an absolute dime. And what made this play even crazier is what Shannon Dawson said in his press conference today, that wasn't even the first read. There was the first read was covered. Malachi Toney saw that and then just delivered a absolute dart up the seam to hit JoJo in stride, and then hit them with the zombie celebration like crazy. This guy it finds new ways to impress
Had
us
a
every
touchdown
single week.
called back.
Touchdown called back, yes.
We're at the point in the
I still-
season where
I guess-
if we have any positive play, I expect to see a flag.
Yeah,
And
what was
yeah,
the
I
illegal
guess
shift?
JoJo Trader moved with another guy at the same time, and so it was an illegal shift. Dawson called Trader out on it and said, like, he said it was a penalty, but it was very, very small. And Rodney Jones on the broadcast said, like, you just don't make that call. But
Dad just sent us a text, and I have no data to back this up, but he said, this season we have had the largest discrepancy between our penalties compared to our opponents in our school's history, which is
I fully
crazy
believe that, yeah.
when you think of it, but compared to, like, literally the teams that changed the penalty rules in college football for, taunting, stuff like that. So that's just crazy. It's there's that video that keeps circling on Twitter of basically talking about the bias against Miami, and they just keep showing the clips of these penalties that we've talked about just been crucial against us. That one didn't necessarily in the NC State game feel like a crucial one because we had started to move the ball, but still, it's just like taking points off the board never feels good. I know we eventually scored, but or was that a field goal that we got that
no,
drive?
It was Malachi Toney. No, we kicked a field goal.
Yeah, so that one kind of like left a bad taste in your mouth, but
Yeah.
all right. Well, yeah, I mean, Tony's rinse and repeat. He should absolutely be an All-American, not even just a freshman All-American.
It's a down Heisman year, and I'm like,
how is he not in any conversation?
I know I'm not saying he should win it this year because he needs. If he has he had 2 or 3 legitimate punt return opportunities where our blockers ran into him, or he was pushed out against SMU inside the 10. I guess he just doesn't have like but it's like, does Ty Simpson? I mean, I don't know.
It's probably the worst. I tweeted
watch
this
Miami,
out.
who played terrible this past weekend, by the way.
The only time we needed Alabama, they have a 17-game home win streak, and the only time we needed them, and they just couldn't come through for us. I know that there's still a path, but that one would have been nice to get Oklahoma out of the picture. And obviously, didn't happen. All right, cool. All right, tropical storm of the week, a little honorable mention, because we obviously have a plethora of players we could choose this week. So, Kurt, who do you got?
Yeah, I think Joe hammered this home last week, and it was even more apparent in C.J. Daniels' absence. I mean, Keelan Marion has really come on strong, and he's been phenomenal. He's been the go-to guy, the consistently he's there. He makes things happen after the catch, but he's there for a lot of third downs. He runs sharp routes. He's got sure hands. Yep. He blocks well too. Yeah, Keelan Marion has been really good. That was through 3 quarters. He had was it 7 for 93, I believe it was.
Yeah, and he had that one deep ball from Carson. That created a little spark in the offense, and then a couple big third down catches. So yeah, no, Keelan Marion he's only improved as the season's gone, because he had a couple drops in the beginning of the year. And there's
a bad penalty against Florida State.
Yeah. And they're still saying the same quote of the dangerous returner. They said it in this one.
I swear. And this was the same crew. So they are. They just put the note. They tucked the notes under the desk and like, all right, we'll come back next week. We had 8 home games, so they were here enough.
On the first drive, we're like, it was a false start at NC State, but we didn't know what the call was yet. Was it false start or offsides on Miami? And they're like, oh, here's Miami with all of their pre-snap penalties. And there was a false start at NC State.
Mark Jones, he did everyone knows, and it's not a bad story. I like the Malachi Tony story about his dad racing Devin Hester.
I've heard it probably every single game this year. He's
not original anymore. I'm not a Mark Jones. He said, did you guys catch when he said, you can't spell the U
without you can't spell the U without
urgency.
Urgency.
You
you can't spell urgency without you. The whole thing. He even knew it. He's like or something like that.
Yeah. The other guy on the call, he just like stood there, smiled for a second, and then they just moved
Rodney
on.
Jones.
He's like, you get it.
Yeah. Then at one point he looks at Rodney Jones. He's like, we talked about Miami's penalties yet? I think we talked about that. It's like having a sidebar just during the game. Like, come on, people, get it together.
What else? Should we bring up kneeing the football? With Miami, they got their checklist.
Well, what about the turnover chain?
Joe, Tropical Storm. Who you got?
Tropical Storm of the week is Mr. Carson Beck. Mm-hmm. We've had our criticisms of Beck this season, but if you take really just one bad game against Louisville, he's really been playing well, but just the way that he's responded since that game, even against SMU, he had some really nice moments. In the last 2 games, he's been big for us. But this game, 21 of 27, 291 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 of 6 on his deep shots for 120 yards and a touchdown. The guy, his accurate, I think he's almost at 73% accuracy on the season. Like, he's quietly putting together a very nice season. And I think even in this game, everyone was talking about CJ Bailey. And like, even during the whole game, that's all the broadcasters were talking about. But it's like, let's give Carson Beck some love here about potentially leading this team to 10-2 in a playoff.
Yeah.
I just feel like he came in with so much hype, which hurt him. But like, he's been great as of recent.
He's had some incredible stretches of well, he's been efficient overall, but he's had a number of stretches this year where he finished this game 13 of 13, and I know he put up a performance like that against Stanford. He had a streak. The USF game, he had a big streak going on, but he made some weirdly, wildly inaccurate throws. He made a couple. He overthrew Tony on a pass. I thought was like, wow, that was kind of
Yeah.
crazy. And then the Lofton touchdown. It's nitpicky. He was very good. He was very efficient.
Yeah.
And I completely agree. Like, it's the narrative has been pretty harsh on him this year for how solid he's been.
Yeah, no, he has been great. I think play calling has hindered him every now and then. Yeah, and I think a lot of, especially in like the national media, looked at the Louisville game, and I don't think ever looked back about him and kind of made their decisions on who Carson Beck was as Miami Hurricane after watching that game. So, yeah, no, I love that pick. He's been great. That one touchdown pass to Tony was beautiful. I think the wheel route Tony did.
Yeah, that was a nice play.
That ball just like stopped. He has it. He never really lobs the ball. It kind of has a straight trajectory, but it was almost like
he has a nice touch.
It's like there's backspin on it. It like came in hot. I was like, you overthrew him, then it just falls right into Tony's hands. So, well, nice. I got a couple, but I'll pick because we just started talking about him. Was Bryce Fitzgerald at nickel, because I've obviously was in the top of every Canes fan's mind when we heard that Keontae Scott was out for this game. We're like, oh boy, is this going to poke a hole in our defense? And truly, like, to our defense's credit, to Bryce Fitzgerald's credit, and now no knock on Keontae Scott, we really didn't notice any drop off. And clearly it was in NC State's game plan to try and poke a hole because they knew Keontae Scott was out, go to whoever's replacing him. Because I think it was like at least two passes that Bryce Fitzgerald had to deal with on that first drive. There may have been three. And so he had a pass deflection, great coverage, and they never really challenged him after that. So I think that kind of like immediately kind of nixed their game plan, a passing attack hope that they had on offense. So Bryce Fitzgerald, man, true freshman. The future is bright. I look at Miami's roster and I look at how, like, Mario, I mean, the transfer portal efficiency that we got this past year, like the amount of hits that he had in the transfer portal, like the players that worked out, has to be one of the better ones in the country. But to use the transfer portal as plugging holes that are needed, but also having that, that foundation of developing and building talent, you just can't understate it enough. And we kind of saw that in full force in this game. So Bryce Fitzgerald.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. There was one part of this game where it was just the only players being named were freshmen. And you're just like, man, on a
Josh Moore had a good game.
a college football playoff contending team.
Yes.
Freshmen making these big plays.
Yep.
Yes.
Special.
Darren Upshaw got more action.
Yeah.
Yep. Josh Moore is going to be a beast.
Yeah, it was a great catch.
so
I mean,
impressive.
the 50-50 balls, I love it. We haven't.
He looks like a good Daryl Langham.
I don't know what our last like truly dominant 50-50 ball guy is. Maybe Daryl Langham. We had Cager, but like he was spotty.
Cager.
He'd have his drops.
Leonard Hankerson.
Leonard Hankerson.
Golly.
Remember that play Cager had against
Tommy Streeter.
FSU? Remember that play Cager had against FSU where it looked like he snapped his leg on the one that he dropped in the end zone, and then they went right back to him and he caught it.
Yeah.
I just remember that replay. Like he just bends his leg back and I'm like, geez.
Then he transferred to UGA.
Stacy Coley.
Tough.
Joe, when they honored Mark Richt, did they have him throw a fade route?
Yeah,
Throw
throw
a
a
fade
fade
route
route
on
fourth and goal. No, but when
there
they
were some
honored
big
him,
names there. You had Duke Johnson there too,
Duke
right?
Johnson.
Oh, let's
yes,
go.
Who got
sir.
the bigger ovation, Duke Johnson or Mark Richt?
Well, Duke went first, and the whole crowd was going, Duke. Duke got a huge ovation, but when Mark Richt got announced, I mean, the crowd went nuts. Mark Richt started crying. It was,
Really?
yeah, it was awesome.
He really doesn't look good. It's sad.
Yeah, but
That's
he
great. That's
jogged
great.
off
Good
the
for him.
field.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. But
I mean, they still
he
got him on
a
ACC
massive
Network.
amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
That's awesome.
Yeah. How close was it to the veteran of the game? Was it?
Well, they really
got the bigger
pushed
ovation?
the envelope with this game because veteran of the game didn't come until deep into the third quarter.
Okay.
And so I guess they knew that we were going to crush NC State because there was a lot of people being honored and a lot of things going on. I mean, Rohan Marley singing that song if you're losing at that point,
you get
Oh,
booed
God.
probably.
Yeah.
there's a lot that you would have gotten booed at for this game, but it all worked out. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, speaking of booing, tropical depression of the week. Not that we boo our players, but Kurt, who you got?
Oh, I do.
I'm gonna go. It's again tough. Team played so well that it wasn't easy at first to pick one, and then I kind of snapped out of it, and I was like, oh duh, Elijah Lofton.
That's 3 weeks in a row that he's been on our.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just don't. He doesn't give us. I think it's just I get beef with guys when you see their potential, and we've seen him flash for a couple of years, behind Elijah Arroyo, and now that it's his time to shine, it's just been kind of
Yeah.
and I think I'm looking to get that tight end weapon back onto the roster next season with some of the freshmen we have coming in. We talked about that kid last week who's highly touted, and I saw today that we're projected to flip another 4-star tight end from Colorado,
I saw that.
which would be cool.
He's like number 56 in the country or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks impressive.
Gavin Mueller.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's mostly it's like when guys aren't fulfilling their potential, it's frustrating to watch as a fan. You think, what's going on with this guy? And it would be nice to give Carson Beck that safety blanket. And listen, on top of it, Elijah Royal very, very well may have run the wrong route against Louisville and ultimately could have cost us that game as well. So just not impressive.
Or Elijah
it wasn't
Lofton,
easy.
yeah.
Elijah Lofton.
Yeah.
I used to do that a lot last
Wish we
year.
had a
It's
Royal.
been a while. Yeah.
No, I mean, Roy, we were
Having a nice little start to his NFL career.
Yeah, I think it's kind of been our first year in a decent amount of time where we've not been able to trust our tight end play. I'm trying to think who was like immediately before Arroyo, because Arroyo was hurt for a little bit. But nevertheless,
Riley Williams.
Yeah, God. So we usually have a reliable tight end play, and it's been the first year that we don't. But Dawson kept calling his number. Didn't want him to, but he kept doing it. And knowing that Gavin Mueller's in the stands made me wonder, I'm like, is he trying to show like, hey, we're going to still throw it to our tight ends? Like, we trust this guy? I don't know. But then, Lofton got his touchdown, and I think that was good for him. Like, hopefully maybe we see that as a flip on the year, because it was not looking good. I mean, you even saw him on the sidelines after that, and he's like celebrating it in a way, but he's also like, he understands that he has not been playing well, and so he definitely visibly looked frustrated on the sideline and wanting more. So hopefully that's a sign of a change to come. But
He's had the two biggest moments in our losses. I guess it depends how you look at it, but
no, it's true.
he dropped the touchdown against SMU, and then
he was targeted.
the route against Louisville.
Yeah, no, I totally forgot about that the wrong route issue. Can't think about it. Move on, Joe.
My tropical depression of the week is how we handled senior day with the kicking situation. At the end of the game, you're up 38-0. You have the perfect opportunity to put in Bert Auburn to kick that field goal. And instead, we roll out the Irish killer, Carter Davis, who's had a phenomenal season, and he misses it. And
Bert
hate
could have done that.
Bert, yeah. Let Bert get out there and get a kick on senior day. And you don't have to put any of that bad stuff into Carter Davis's mind. And now he's had a couple misses recently, and it's just, I was like, come on. Give the kicker a chance. Give poor Bert Auburn a chance.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, senior day in general, because we saw a couple juniors walk. Maui Noah walked, Bain walked, and obviously we knew like they would be stupid not to go with how they're projected in the NFL, but it's tough to see.
There is a
It's
lot
sad
of
to
big
see.
names. Well, I mean, our offensive line, Inez Cooper,
Yeah.
Markel Bell.
I love Inez Cooper.
There were some big names that walked.
Yeah. It's going to be a complete overhaul not in a scary way though, because I think we got the guys to back them up.
Yes.
I think we'll see some guys
Including
step up.
the person that we're bringing in, who Rivals just rated the #1 recruit in the nation.
Yeah.
So
Should be good.
Jackson Cantwell, is that his name?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when they're keeping them ranked as #1 in the country and they're a Miami commit, they must be pretty good, because that's usually a
They have no choice.
surefire drop of like 20 spots.
Yep.
Rivals is always the most favorable towards Miami. The other sites,
I
do
think
not
he's on
like
the other
us.
sites too, though. I think there's maybe one
I think
site
he's like
that
number
drops them.
3 on 247.
I saw on 3 today, this corner flipped from Indiana to Ohio State. He was a 3-star, and as soon it was like shameless. Like he was a 5-star #2 corner in the country when Hayes Fawcett tweeted the thing out. I was like,
terrific.
come on, man. That's just.
And guess what? That goes right into the old FPI rankings, and then onward into the playoff.
And then the world just keeps on
It actually
spinning.
does. Yeah.
Who polices the police? Oh man! All right, and then I guess I got mine, but I won't harp on it too much. But Emory Williams, it's just not. It's just not the answer. It's just. I mean, we know it's not the answer, but you know what immediately took me out of it? Hey, Kurt, Joe, I don't know if you watched the game on TV afterwards, but Emory Williams comes out first play, like we're up by like 4-5 touchdowns, and he comes out, deep breath, like eyes closed, like that. He was like shaking in his boots. I'm like, Emory, dude, you have played. This is like game number like 12 for you or something.
Right.
And it's at home. You're up by 5 touchdowns. It's going to be all right. And it's just not, he doesn't look comfortable back there, and not
Well, it
good.
starts with his stance. He has
The
that
stance is
ridiculous
bad.
wide stance.
Yes.
Yeah. Carson does it too, and I think he takes it from Carson.
Do you know who now that he wears the visor, do you know who he reminds me of? Kyle Wright. That's who he reminds me of now, with his stupid little visor, his leg sleeve. Like,
Although I think Kyle Wright was better.
He does the
Yeah.
glove because of
Yeah,
Carson
you're
Beck
right.
too.
Kyle
Like,
Wright was better.
It's very interesting with him. But yeah, I saw him take that deep breath in and out, and I'm like, it's just not that we need a killer back there. And
Thank you to his
everyone's-
dad for his service.
Yes. Mario was wearing the salute to service polo in his presser. Did you see that? Mario just probably like, I was just shocked. I was like, yeah. We were
That's
talking
very
about how
bizarre.
he probably hate. Yeah, I'm like 2 weeks after the game.
So he changed out of his white polo in his one
like,
today.
Yeah, his one today.
Yeah,
I still
that's
think
so
it's
interesting.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, it's so-
Because it's
really
after
so
the game.
odd.
It's like, oh, give me something.
Yeah.
He's worn that same gray U collared shirt like every single Monday this year.
Yeah, no, go
He's
check
just
it. He was
decided-
wearing it today.
Oh, I hope I'm looking forward to this week's episode of the Mario Cristobal Show, because Joe Zagaki's been rocking that same green one. So if they're wearing the same one, Zagaki's gonna be like,
He's a day too early.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Mario's gonna change as soon as he sees Zagaki wearing it. And then Don Bailey Jr. always wears the old, like when we first went to Adidas, the collared shirt with like the feathers on the sleeves.
Yeah.
He wears the checkered hat that they gave for the Georgia Tech game, the bucket hat.
They were giving out posters celebrating the 100
I
years
was
of
I
Miami,
heard there
and
was
they
some
ran out
controversy.
fast.
Yeah.
They gave them out at the end of the game, first of all, not the beginning. Not when you're walking in. They had them out when you're leaving, and by the time we left, they were already out of them.
Well, to our credit, with our predictions for this game, I mean, yeah, you're celebrating 100 years of Miami. You've got some legends in the building that you're honoring, and Senior Day is just, and late in the season, November is normally a recipe for disaster for Miami.
Yeah,
but came out with a dominating performance, and that kind of gets me into what I want to talk about before we talk about Virginia Tech. Is I'm just going to go out and say, when it comes to the college football playoff, obviously, like, I want to be in the playoff, and I think we deserve to be in the playoff, and there's so much bias out there right now that it'll make you sick. It'll make your head spin if you think about it too much. But if the Canes can finish this season with 4 straight wins, and we are 10-2, I consider this immense progress compared to last year, because I see a team that does deserve to be in the playoff, and the system took it away from them. I'm not gonna. I know I was super low after the SMU game, and I still hate that we dropped that game, and I hate that happened. But in the world of college football, we are seeing left and right chaos. I mean, you look at the Texas A&M South Carolina game, and that the ball rolled Texas A&M's way, and it happened to that they were able to come back, but things didn't go our way this year with those random games. There are only two genuinely close games, I guess, other than Notre Dame, were Louisville and SMU, and the ball didn't roll our way, and that's what happened. But I'm super proud of this team if we can finish this season strong, and the NC State game gave me a lot of hope about the rest of this season.
Yeah, and if you think about our 2 losses, Louisville, we threw 4, almost 5 interceptions to lose that game. SMU, we
had the ball
shot ourselves in the foot the whole game. The referees had some absolutely horrible game-changing calls, and we lost in the final play. Both games by less than a touchdown, we lose those. If we finish 10-2, and you don't put us in over Notre Dame, who's also 10-2, it'll be one of the biggest travesties this sport has ever seen. If we finish 10-2 and Miami's not in the playoffs, it is not them looking at strength of record, strength of schedule, who we've beaten, who we've lost to. It's simply the committee with a bias towards certain SEC teams. Even I'm very interested to see what the rankings are on Tuesday, because if I see a BYU or a Utah or a Vanderbilt ranked over Miami, then they're just not paying attention to what's actually being done on the field. You're talking about Miami, who just shut down one of the better offenses in college football and held
averaging
them to
38 points a game.
They had under 100 yards before the last drive of the game, and against our third string. It was as dominant a performance as you can have. And so then I heard Paul Feinbaum talking about how it's unfortunate that Miami just lost at the wrong time of the year. Well, when's the right time of the year to lose, Paul?
Dude,
it must just be week 1. That's
the
the only
whole
time you can lose, because
timing
last
of the
year,
losses,
last year we couldn't lose the last game, but this year we couldn't lose with 4 games to play. So when is it? When can you not lose? And I'm tired of people looking at good losses as a higher stat over good wins. I'm sick of it all. If Miami finishes 10-2, there is zero argument for them not to be in the playoffs with the teams that are in front of them. I'm sorry.
I completely agree.
But I agree with you that, yes, because you'll be able to hang your hat on you. At the end of the day, you did your job. You went 10-2. If you told me you were going 10-2 to start the year, it's like, yeah, I would take that. I know a lot of us said 11-1 maybe, but it's still back-to-back 10-win season, 20-4 over 2 seasons with none of those losses by more than a touchdown. It's just the right trajectory, but it would just be an absolute, just the biggest travesty if they leave us out. You can't leave us out.
It would, and I think, to me, the first thing you do, if I know we're getting far ahead now, but the first thing you do if we do get left out, I call Notre Dame and I say, next year it's canceled.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Because what's the point? There's no reason to go up there and risk the season for nothing.
Yeah.
So it's obviously Alabama picked up their second loss. So we have the same record. We have a common opponent, and
they will be right.
We absolutely throttled Florida State. Spare me the fourth quarter dramatics.
Yeah,
and Alabama got dominated by Florida State in the same venue 4 weeks apart. So it's the Vanderbilt thing is I don't quite get it. The whole conversation is just the SEC beats each other up, and in the ACC it's like teams falter. They
prove that each other's bad.
Pee down their leg.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to me that we have to do. Why don't we look? I'm fine. We can shift our focus to the Big Ten as well, because what is that conference?
Yeah.
Michigan.
Ohio
again,
State's schedule's a joke.
It is so bad. What marquee games in the what are the must-see games in the Big Ten this year? It was Indiana, Oregon, and what else? What other game do you have to watch in that conference?
I mean, look at what they did with Iowa.
It's horrendous.
Iowa, say what you will about the AP poll, but they didn't have Iowa ranked. College football playoff comes in, that committee puts them at 20.
Drop them one
21
spot.
or 20. Just right the week before they play Oregon. Be like, all right, here now Oregon's got this big ranked opponent that wasn't even on anyone's radar the week before. They lose to Oregon and drop one spot. It's just like, what are we doing?
And what did you see? Missouri climbed their way back into the rankings.
Oh, it's just makes
and so
me
now Alabama
sick.
has the most top 25 wins of current top 25 programs. Tennessee is still ranked. These teams that do not deserve to be ranked. I mean, you even look at Texas A&M. They've won their games. Like, they obviously deserve to be in. They'd have not played, like, you split the SEC in half, but in like with record wise, they have not played any of the teams in the top half.
Yeah,
Every
so
single
it's crazy.
SEC team they have played has been the bottom half. But they're gonna parade these as good solid wins. And
Why do we have to act like Kentucky and Mississippi State is like, oh, it's just such a deep conference?
I mean, Kirk Herbstreit starts talking about a 9-3 Texas during the Texas UGA game as we're watching Texas get their teeth kicked in.
Yeah, great performance again
Yeah.
by Texas. Really.
Yeah.
What an impressive team. I
Yeah.
mean, Arch Manning is just, wow. Sark,
Also, what drives me crazy too is this whole, like, how much people will say, well, what if those two teams played today? What do you think the spread would be? Who do you think would win? It's like, that's not what we're doing here.
It's just
We're not.
garbage.
We're not.
What was the
sitting here
spread when
thinking,
Notre Dame played Miami?
Like,
Notre Dame was favored.
Alabama could go out and be 0-12, and Wake Forest 6-6, and you'd be like, Alabama would probably beat Wake Forest today if they played like those two. Like, but that's not who's the most deserving team. The college football playoff, who got it done on the field that deserves and earned their way into the playoff? It's not who the best team is. That's not how any other sport works. You see in the NFL all the time that teams miss out on the playoffs, that their roster's better than the other team. On paper, they are better, and they should beat those teams, but they don't, and they get left out. So we can do that in college football too. I get that they've got the recruits, and they were highly ranked to start the year, and they've got the star quarterback. They didn't get it done on the field, so they don't deserve to be in the playoff. We have to go back to putting teams in that deserve it rather than teams that are just, we think they're better. We think on a neutral site, they'd be favored. Who cares what the hypotheticals are? Insane to me.
Why play
And
the
people
games?
don't like this part of the debate, but it's true. Money is involved. And
100%.
which way does it go? I mean, because I can't act like Miami doesn't move the needle, so it's
You
hard
have to think they
figure
want
out
Miami
why.
in.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to figure out why they wouldn't.
But do they want
if
them
it
in
comes
over
down
Notre
to
Dame?
Miami or Notre Dame, Notre Dame's the biggest audience. I mean, they have they don't need to join a conference because they have their own channel. NBC on Saturdays is the Notre Dame Broadcasting Network. So
But you can't do it. You can't put Notre Dame. If we both finish 10-2, I don't. How do you do it? How do you live with
there's
yourself?
too
There
much
was
talk to we get too much into the because the narrative thing is, it's like every week people get their marching orders on what the narrative is for that week.
Yeah, because it's
you know?
going away that Miami's like
How-
if Miami does exactly what they did against NC State for the rest of the season,
Yeah.
what's the narrative around Miami? What if Notre Dame and Miami played again? What would it be? I don't know. Probably it'd probably look exactly how it did look week one because Miami's looking solid as well. It's just you have a room of imperfect people that one set a horrible precedent, I believe, back in 2023 when FSU was left out. I thought that was ridiculous. I thought that let emotions get into it. I mean, you have an undefeated Power 4 team that just won their conference. I don't care if their quarterback got hurt. They deserve
best
to
versus
be in the
most
playoff.
deserving.
Yeah. And so that set a horrible, horrible precedent with all of this that it was subjective. And you have a room full of people that I guess we haven't talked about this yet because this happened early last week, but the chair of this college football playoff committee steps down because of said personal reasons. I'm sure it's just immense pressure that he's feeling because it does almost feel like an impossible job in some ways. But then you have the Utah athletic
Did he
director.
get in, like, some altercation with a player or something at BYU?
Did he?
I mean, at Baylor.
It's been kind of, I haven't seen a clear cut report come
Gotcha.
out. That was what was rumored to have happened, but the school said it wasn't with an active player, and so you know,
Gotcha.
I don't know.
Sorry, Jimmy. Continue.
No, you're good. You're good. But then, so then they promote the Utah athletic director onto the committee, and Utah is sitting
Get
nice
me
and tight
away
right in
from
front of the
Utah.
Canes.
But Utah's a bubble team.
No, I believe Utah will still be ahead of us going into
No,
this week.
it's if that is one. If you just look at the resumes, it's not even close. How much more deserving Miami is.
It's just when they ranked us 18 and they ranked Notre Dame 10, they showed their hand to me that they are going to do whatever they can to keep us separated.
Yeah. Don't at least you guys. I think we can agree though that Mario's message this week was he got the message and he
100%.
conveyed it to the team like loud
Yeah.
and clear.
That's what I'm
that
saying.
we need to get back to pound.
Yeah.
Yes.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm going to be devastated if we don't get into the playoff and we finish 10-2. I think it'll be a travesty, but I won't be devastated for the Miami Hurricanes. I'll be devastated for the system in general, but I'll be proud of this team because teams you lose. This stuff happens, and perfection is not. No one's perfect in this country, and so it's just. Can't think about it too much. Got to finish strong. Still got a tough
Lot
game
can
at
happen
Pitt.
in 2 weeks.
Two
And
feisty opponents.
Yeah, away game at Virginia Tech. So that'll get us into this week's opponent. So a noon game, thankfully.
Very pleased with that.
Yes.
is very good for us. Still, that they're going to bring out James Franklin at halftime. They're feeling good right now. But after a while, I watched the FSU Virginia Tech game, hoping I would see some magic for Virginia Tech, and none of it came. Virginia Tech is not a great team. They lack an identity, I feel like, on offense. So we were scared of this game going into the season, but definitely Virginia Tech has not necessarily performed how we would like. My last this number will get me into this is 9 million. We'll get it in reference to Virginia Tech.
Million.
How many yards Tyrod Taylor ran against us?
Probably. That is
James Franklin's new salary.
That's his new buyout.
Oh, his new
They
buyout.
knocked that $50 million buyout to 9 million. So Penn State's thrilled about this, but I don't know what his salary is with Virginia Tech, but I think it's actually a kind of a perfect fit for James Franklin. Home run hire for the ACC. I think it's only good for the ACC that there's a talent like James Franklin in. But yeah, that's my other number, 9 million. But gentlemen, how are we feeling about Virginia Tech?
Yeah, I
Kurt's
think
biggest rival. Kurt's biggest rival.
Yeah. I mean, I've long said Florida State 1A, Virginia Tech 1B. This growing up for me, I can't stand Virginia Tech. I'm excited for the Franklin thing because I texted you guys earlier. Rivalry's back on. I mean, this is a great, to me, a little biased in here, but this is one of the more underrated rivalries in college football. And I think it's had some unbelievable games back and forth. Both teams, I mean, we left the Big East at the same time, and it was viewed as a combination upgrade for the conference, and both teams haven't had the success that they've seen in the past, but this is a great rivalry game. Blacksburg is a tough place to play. It's a tough place to win. Like, that's why I mentioned, very pleased to be playing there with in the middle of the day. The sun will be up in the sky, high in the sky.
I think it's gonna be like in the 60s, the weather.
Yeah,
So
they've got
perfect.
the whole thing. To me, Virginia Tech, Miami is. I'm telling. That's like that stirs up feelings for me from childhood, and maybe Virginia Tech. I kind of buy that they'll be. The players on the roster to some degree will be auditioning for James Franklin. But as Jimmy said, it's just not a very good team. Brent Pry just completely fell on his face. It started with Fuentes, and they've just never been able to recover. He had a little bit of success last year, and Drones was a guy who coming in was someone that, it was like, watch out. And, you see a mobile quarterback in the maroon and orange, I guess, you get flashes to, they've had so many of
Horrible
them,
color
the Vicks
combination.
and the Taylors, and, but yeah, I'm excited. And I think this is the one I feel of the two. I definitely feel the confidence that we're going to go up there and take care of business. But I'm excited. I'm really excited to see us take the field against Virginia Tech.
You got to eye the Hurricane for this one?
Yeah, it's the running. I'm going to lump the running backs together, and Mario hinted that Mark Fletcher would be back this week. I think he pretty much confirmed that CJ Daniels was going to be back.
Yeah, I think he was like a game time decision for NC State.
I think what he had said is that he could have played, but he wanted to give him another week. And he said he was feeling good about Mark Fletcher. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
Mario.
it could be out for the year.
Why can't you just tell us? What's the real advantage there? But no, but Virginia Tech's last two games, Florida State and Louisville, absolutely ran all over them, ran for over 250 yards, both of those teams in both of those games. So
yeah, keep Norvell.
This is a gettable defense on the ground. I think it's gettable in general. But if we run the ball with success, we will cover this spread, this nice, comfortable 17.5 moving up every moment.
Yeah.
Point spread here. So it's the running back room for me. Pringle, Marty Brown. I want to see this thing continue.
Very nice. Joe.
Yep, that was going to be mine as well. Is the rushing attack. I mean, yeah, Virginia Tech they're giving up almost 200 yards rushing per game. And it is in that kind of cold weather late in the year, running the football that's how you win games. But since Kurt already took it, I'll flip it. I'll go, because if there is one thing Virginia Tech does well, they are a top 25 rushing attack on offense. That is really the only way they can move the ball on offense is by running it. Our game plan, what Corey Heatherman said going to the NC State game was, number one, he wanted to take away the run game and then disrupt the quarterback. And so I think that's the same exact game plan we need here. We absolutely shut down the run game, like we mentioned earlier. Hollywood Smothers, who's a great running back, had -2 rushing yards. So need to do the same thing against Virginia Tech. Take away that running game. It's all they've got. Force them to throw the football downfield. And I think we'll have another Jacoby Thomas pick 6. I'm calling it. He's going to have another one. And Bryce Fitzgerald's going to get one too. 2 picks. Fitzgerald and Thomas.
All right.
Bryce Fitzgerald almost had one this week.
He did.
It's close.
No, he's a good player. And he's not even a natural nickel. I think he was literally learning that position this week. And I saw a report that Keontae Scott was basically coaching him all week on what to do and what the coverages are. And so that's just it's just a testament to not only how Mario is developing these players, but also the type of players he's bringing in, that he's like confident to put freshmen in tough spots like that. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Mine's in line with you, Joe. I'm going defensive line, specifically Ruben Bain. He's still getting through. I think he's still the highest PFF graded defensive end with 0 stats. It's truly incredible. He had no stats this past game, but he was so disruptive that literally CJ Bailey never had a chance to throw it, and was with a running quarterback like Drones, to make him uncomfortable. This is going to be huge. Takes an offense completely off schedule immediately if you can have a defensive line that gets through. So defensive line. It's just a beautiful thing to have a good defense. It feels great. Cam Ward deserved this defense. Instead, he got Lance Guidry with complete defensive malpractice. But, yeah, That's my other
Right
Hurricane.
now, Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor are 1 and 2 respectively edge rushers in the nation.
Yeah.
So
And
they are
on Mel
both,
Kiper's board.
Yeah, I
That's
saw a couple weeks ago Bain projected number 2 to the Titans. I mean, these guys are going to be going high. We're going to have, I think, 3 first-round picks. Bain, Maui Noah, and possibly Mesidor if someone else needs an edge rusher. So
There's a little smoke around Sark being looked at for the Titans job. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah, I did. Must be nice,
Yeah.
What's he done at Texas?
Good
They
losses.
look like, yeah. Jeez.
Oh man. My last number before I get into lock of the week is Joe already kind of blew it for me, but is 510,000.
510,000. The amount of times Joe Zagacki has wanted to cold call Mario in the middle of the night.
It is your total announced attendance for the Hurricanes home games, a program record. I'm going to say
Nice.
2 things about it. One, that tweet was very misleading. It looked like a complete typo. It was like
tweeted it out?
announced attendance is 510,000 program record, which first of all makes it look like we had a horrible typo for the NC State game. But then it turns out, oh no, that's what they're saying is for the entire season. And then if you think on paper, like, oh, cool, program record, then you remember we had 8 home games.
Yeah.
And it's just not, it's like an okay stat. And even that number in of itself is inflated because it's just tickets sold, not butts in the seats. But, yeah, but hey.
I'm a big just be what you are guy.
Be what you
it's
are.
Like,
We don't need to parade that we're going to fill out the stadium every time. But the fans that are going to be there are going to be rowdy and they're going to be loud. And, I mean, 8 home games. It was a fun season. Fun home season. We got to a few of them here in the Miami Nights podcast, and I can't believe we've already played our last home game, potentially.
It sucks.
Unless we make it to the national champion. I know, I can't believe it's already over, but it feels like Notre Dame was just yesterday. It actually was just yesterday. Don't listen to the national pundits that act like week 1 is like 20 years ago. It was like 2.5 months ago. So, yeah.
And by the way, that Notre Dame team you beat week 1 was the same Notre Dame team that was in the national championship that had a whole off season to prepare for this one game.
No, Joe. They were starting a true freshman at quarterback. What can you expect? I like that argument is so tiresome because it's like, okay, well, that's the team you trotted out. We trotted out a quarterback who had never taken a snap for the Miami Hurricanes and just tore his UCL less than a year ago. We have a whole new roster of players that have never been. We actually had a true freshman that carved you guys up, Malachi Toney. Incredible.
Down your star, Jeremiah Love. Absolutely
the
locked
circles,
them down.
The circles that they run around. I mean, they look at completely who from ESPN said it was the chair of the College Football Playoff Committee that the Miami has the only notable win in the ACC in the country, just completely forgetting that FSU destroyed Alabama week 1.
The recently canned chair.
For hitting a player.
Killed a
You heard it here first. All right. So, lock of the week. Let's see where we're at. I'm on a 4-game win streak, boys. It's been going well for me. Feeling really good about that. Joe won. Clemson plus 3.5. Clemson won outright. Great pick. Started the weekend off good for the Canes with some teams dominoes that we needed to fall, and kind of stopped after that until the Georgia-Texas game. But nevertheless, great pick. I had UGA favored by 6.5. Obviously, they covered that against Texas. Kurt had old Pitt plus an 11.5 versus Notre Dame in Kurt fashion, an absolute dominating performance by Notre Dame, and Pitt loses.
But it wasn't a conference game, so Pat Narduzzi doesn't care.
Oh my goodness!
it was
the most.
Okay,
How are we surprised how Pitt came out?
this?
Yeah, talk about it because it's so.
First
stupid.
of all, I genuinely cashed this out to get my money back on Wednesday, maybe Thursday, whatever. It doesn't matter. But for Pat Narduzzi, a guy who's got tenure, like he's been at Pittsburgh for a long time. He's been always known as like this hard nose. he's like a slab of ice, a guy who's been around the block. He's never been great there, but he's got some big wins. But he's just like a blue collar. He's like a Pittsburgh guy. He fits there. That's why I think he's never been fired, because he hasn't accomplished anything there. To come out this week, if there wasn't a video, I would have thought there's no way Pat Narduzzi said that.
I thought it was AI. I did.
If it's not an ACC game, we could lose by 100. So it's for
said,
two.
I'll be happy.
Number one is like, you're obviously going to get steamrolled. I don't know what kind of relationship he has with his team, but it was just completely moronic. Notre Dame comes out and steamrolls him. So, whatever. My luck of the week is cursed. I've lost like 4 in a row. But the other part that pisses me off way more than stupid lock of the week, I got my money back. Didn't even have to look at the score. Miami is their Super Bowl. That's the way I took that communication is like, here we go again. It's like, this guy's gonna mail it in. They've probably been watching film on Miami for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and it's just like, they've got a big game against Georgia Tech this week, and I guess it's an ACC game, so they'll have their attention. But I take this as like, here we go again. They've had that circled. He wants to ruin our season. And yeah, we're Pitt Super, but like, what a loser comment that was. That was just, but it was shocking to come from Narduzzi of all people.
Yeah. Yeah,
it was gross.
Thanks a lot.
I did, and it's like
the only bet I
bad
lost
look
this
for the
weekend.
ACC, and it's just
been.
so frustrating. It was just so stupid, but yeah, and not surprised they got destroyed with that. Like, could you imagine if Cristobal came out and said that? Like, now I get it, the standards of Pitt and Miami are a little different, but just like, more people should be talking about that. Like, I'm begging for coaches speak at that point. Just say something smart.
Cristobal says Bethune-Cookman has as much talent as we do.
Although that was so, I forget who I was listening to, but they were saying they miss, this week 11 is always, or I guess it's week 13 technically, but it's always when the SEC brings forward, the horrible teams. But they said they miss Saban saying, no, we really got to pay attention to Georgia State's run defense, because they're bringing forward a good
It
team.
should be illegal to play a cupcake team in November.
And you know why it should be illegal? Because we are being told that
we need to,
that the end of the season matters more.
Right.
And so if you're going to put cupcake teams at the end of the season, that should definitely make a difference.
Right.
That Ole Miss is a bye week this week. I don't even know how they managed that. Yeah. All right. Joseph, you can start us off. You're coming off a win.
All right. I've got really coming off of all of Kurt's comments. I've got Pitt plus 2.5 at Georgia Tech. Listen, I think I'm going to trust Pat Narduzzi that he really was saying that he only cares about these last 2 games, and he did not care about Notre Dame. I just think this is, first of all, we need Pitt to win this game. Second of all, Georgia Tech has kind of been exposed these last couple weeks. I mean, they got just run over by NC State as far as on their defense. Could not stop anything. And then Boston College should have beat them. Boston College had them beat.
One win.
Georgia Tech is trending down. I think this is a huge game for Pitt. I expect them to be able to throw all over Georgia Tech. I like Pitt here. I like Pitt to win outright, and we need it. Our slim path to the ACC championship, we need it.
Yeah, I like that. Well, do we need? I don't know if we need Pitt, do we? Because Georgia Tech.
We need Georgia Tech out.
Sure. Yeah.
That's the one stipulation. There's no path for us to make it.
Yes, if
Georgia
this game.
Tech.
Yes, and it's 7:00 Saturday night. I will be.
Come on, Narduzzi.
How can you have faith in a guy like that?
Yeah.
What?
Kurt, who do you got?
I was between 2. I'm gonna roll with Houston this week. hosting TCU. Yeah, I like Connor Wegman. They're only favored by 1.5 right now. TCU's defense isn't great. Houston's a good team. They got a good team. They got a good coach. One of these guys, he's older. He kind of flies under the radar, but he was very good at Tulane, and he's been good at Houston. He's a big year 2 guy. Teams show a lot of improvement in year 2, and Houston's a good team. I've watched them quite a bit. I like Connor Wegman, and I think they're going to get TCU here at home. So give me the Cougars.
All right.
I like it.
Very
Wait,
nice.
That was Texas A&M's quarterback, right? Wegman, is that where he came from?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was the guy we
starter
beat.
that week. That year.
Yes.
Against Tyler Van Dyke.
Yikes.
Van Dimes.
Just an all-star lineup of quarterbacks in that game. All right, I'm looking at NC State versus FSU, your classic Friday night ACC matchup.
Oh, that's true.
You never know what can happen on a Friday night. I don't know how FSU managed to have 2 Friday night games on their schedule this season. That's tough. That is tough. But it's even more brutal that it's looking like Mike Norvell's probably coming back another season if they don't completely sputter at the end. I frankly necessarily don't see them firing now that James Franklin's gone. So I'm looking at NC State plus 4.5. I think, I'm going to look at the law of averages here and knowing that NC State is a team that averages around 38 points a game and we held up basically to a shutout if we didn't bring in the Clemson defense at the end. So I think that NC State, I think they outright win this. They're FSU's favored by 4.5. So I'm gonna go. I would take NC State on the money line on this, obviously, since that line's so close. But give me the Wolfpack.
How sweet would that be if NC State, right after we boat race them, goes and beats FSU? Oh, that would be amazing.
Awesome.
This is Friday night.
This is at home.
Let's go.
Yeah. At NC State. I mean, the crowd probably won't be incredible, but FSU draws crowds to begin with. People I saw some stat this past week, and it was about the amount of the amount of viewers that FSU has had this season, and I think it maybe is more than Miami, or maybe just around. They're like, look at this, even in a down year, FSU is like moving the needle. It's like, guys, you don't understand that this is like mostly hate watches because people are just enjoying watching you guys just disintegrate.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. Your Miami Hurricanes facing your bitter rivals, Virginia Tech Hokies. Our line on this game, or we already talked about it, 17.5, but our over-under is, wait for it. One of you guys say it if you find it before me. I just had it.
They say
40,
57.
No, it's definitely
48.5.
48.5. No, that's fine. It's on me. That's on my poor hosting. 48.5 is your over-under. Opened as a 49.5. So the over-unders went down, but our line has went up. Opened up at 16.5. Now is sitting at 17.5. Gentlemen, we win this one. We got one more game left with a huge game to end at Pitt. And this is big. This one's big. Keep the momentum going. Keep the style points going in the eyes of the college football playoff committee. So, Joe, what do you got for us? Your Miami Hurricanes taking on the Virginia Tech Hokies.
Miami versus Virginia Tech.
Good start.
I've got. I think it's going to be pretty close to the NCs. I think it's going to be domination. I'm going to go. Miami Hurricanes. Whoa, Miami. 38, the Virginia Tech Hokies. You know what? I'm going to give Virginia Tech 17.
Okay, all right. So not the NC State game.
But still, 38-17. I do think Virginia Tech gets a little bump from just overall morale. Things are looking up. They got a chance to take down hopefully a top 12 team come this weekend. Probably not, but I got 38-17, but I think it is going to be pure domination.
Love it. Yes. Enter Sandman with the noon sun over you. I'll take it. That's fine by me. That is fine by me. Kerr, who do you got?
Yeah, I feel good about going into Blacksburg this year, and that's a good feeling. That's a real good feeling. And yeah, I'm gonna go.
Song I can play.
I think I've got the Canes 31-14 in this game. No, they're not going to score 2 touchdowns. Yeah, 31-14 is fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Listen, Drones, he can do some things.
He's
sometimes.
dynamic enough.
Yeah. They scored some points on us last year. I mean, I gave him his very different team, but
yeah, I want to emphasize how good this how good this defense is.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. But 31-14. I do think the Canes are gonna cruise in this one.
Yeah. Yes. I'm looking at your Miami Hurricanes 35, your Virginia Tech Hokies 10. Comfortably covered. Yes. Yeah, I feel really high on this team right now. I think they're focused, and I think they're focused on the right things, and I don't think they're letting the outside noise get to them. And the goal is still there's still a goal in mind. And there's still hope in the season that, I'm looking for a big win for the Canes. 9-2 will feel good. Like that's gonna it's just that'll feel really good, really good.
I think we saw a team last week that watching this game was just a pleasure. I think we saw a team that embodies the coach. It's got the talent to back it up though, because. Again, when it's late in the season, things start to go a little sideways or you start to teeter-totter. It's like if you don't have the talent
or the
depth, yeah, that's where you start to see the team. It's not that they don't have fight, but this team's got talent and it's got depth. So
yeah,
I'm excited. I think we got a little jolt here into the system going into the last 2 games.
Yeah. All right, quickly wrap us up. Best of X. Whoever's ready, you take it first.
I got Atlanta Knoll tweeted, "It's as Bobby Bowden always said, first you lose big, then you lose close, then you win the ACC championship, then you go 2-10, then you beat Alabama and get ranked in the top 10, then you drop 5 conference games, then you win big." I got a good kick out of that. Atlanta Knoll, at Knoll ATL, shout out.
That's funny. I'm gonna go with. I've got 2. I'll start with this Red Canes, and it's just getting to be tiresome. But he says it's mind blowing that Miami has the 2 best defensive ends in college football, and every offensive line in America has blocked them perfectly without holding.
Yeah. No, it is
Crazy.
It is so true.
I you hate to be like one of those guys that is a ref complainer, but it's just getting ridiculous.
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense. And then the other one, this is probably my favorite one, but Taylor Tannenbaum quoted it was a quote tweet of the Rhodes quote when he said, "Look, when you look at their non-conference schedule, there are really no signature wins other than Miami versus Notre Dame." And this tweet says, most non-conference wins versus the current CFP ranked teams. The ACC with 4, SEC 2, Big 12 2, Big 10 2, Notre Dame 1. So we have the conference. I don't want to say we. Screw the conference. But
no, I think we need to get
It was just
out.
factually incorrect,
Yeah.
So.
All right. You know what I'm just realizing is this is part of my best of X, but I'll first show my best of X, and I'll just talk about my discovery I just had. But this was back when
suspended.
Yeah, this was back when Jacoby Thomas committed after being in the transfer portal from Tennessee, and
nice.
one of their fans said lemonette tree because they were saying he was a lemon, basically. That he was not going to be a good player for us and maybe seemed good on paper, but he was going to be disappointing for us. And clearly that has been completely opposite. But now I'm looking at the graphic on this, and I'm seeing that first team, and I think it just hit me. Jacoby Thomas was on the 2022 Middle Tennessee
right.
State team.
That man has never lost at Hard Rock.
And yeah, I just pulled
He
that
was
up.
sliding in the mud that night.
My God, he was on that team because that was the year, right? 2022.
That is correct.
That is tough.
Never
That is
forget.
tough. But hey, it's a full circle moment. So, yeah. All right. Well, gentlemen, lovely having you guys. Let's have another good week. Joe, we got a preview show coming this week. Any College Huddle Virginia Tech podcasts?
Negative. Completely forgot to reach out.
That's completely fine. They would just ghost
It'll
you
just
again,
be me.
like what's been happening with some of them. Your show's been great, and I appreciate you taking those.
Hey, thank you.
They leave me cracking up hearing you just talk to yourself. And, but it's a good tempo. It's a good pace you got on the show. All right, well, Canes fans, enjoy this victory week. Hopefully, enjoy tomorrow night or tonight while you're listening to the college football playoff show. All we can do is win. All we can do is win and keep the momentum going. Your Canes are looking good. Let's get this to a 10-win season these next 2 weeks. Go Canes.